Just taking actions or even taking aligned actions will not give you the results that you seek. What will give you the results is taking aligned actions and surrendering. In today's video, we're going to talk about the power of taking aligned actions and surrendering to create the results that you want. If you take aligned actions, it's not always going to give you the results that you seek. However, when you take aligned actions and you surrender, that is going to allow you to create your vibrant life. My name is Padma from padmaali.com, and my goal in this lifetime is to help as many evolved leaders like you to create an amazing life, not only in the physical 3D world with money, with relationships, with your career, but also help you evolve on a spiritual plane so that you can create this balance of creating both your spiritual existence and your physical life. That is what will give you the utmost freedom and fulfillment. So, in today's video, we're going to talk about the power of the combination of aligned action and surrender. Now, you may or may not realize how powerful surrender is. Surrender is the key to success. Most people, when they come into this field of spirituality, start to think about surrender as like, I give up, right? I give up. However, surrender goes beyond that. Surrender is not just about giving up. Surrender is about trust. Surrender is about deepening your intuition. Surrender is living from a place of joy. Surrender is utmost trust and fulfillment. What does all of this even mean? I'm going to break it all down for you right now. So, you've heard me say many times, aligned actions gives you powerful results. And that is absolutely true. It does. It is very true that you need to take aligned actions. You can't just your way sitting in a cave and meditating like 24 hours, hoping for the things that you're desiring in your life to come to fruition. It doesn't work like that. You still need to take actions. And actions basically are like you have a destination in mind. You are going to Bermuda, so you have to get in your car, go to the airport, you need to buy tickets, you need to have bought tickets before, you need to get in the car, go to the airport, you need to pack the suitcase. Like, all these are action steps that eventually is going to get you to your destination of Bermuda. Now, if you are taking aligned actions, it is a guaranteed process by which you know that your actions are going to point you in the direction of where you want to go. Now, aligned actions come from intuition, come from your inner sense, come from like, I need to go to Bermuda. Right? It's the sense of like, I know I have to be there, and there's no doubt about it. There's the full on conviction. Now, then when you take actions, then there's no doubts in your mind. You're like, I know I'm going to get there. That is aligned action. Aligned action is like throwing a dart at the dartboard, knowing it's going to hit the bullseye, right? That is aligned action. Now, just taking aligned actions is not a guarantee for success or a guarantee to create whatever it is that you're desiring. There's another step to this process. That step is surrender. This is the key to creating everything that you want. Okay? This is the key. This surrender piece. It's like, then I'm closing my eyes because it's like I can imagine once you let the dart go, it's like you know it is going to hit the bullseye, but you're also surrendering to the process. And surrender means trust. Surrender means even if the dart doesn't hit the dartboard, you know that it is for your highest good. You know when that transaction of this multi-million-dollar deal didn't go through, there's something better in store for you. You know that if you miss that flight, it is still okay. Because you have set your intention, you've taken the aligned actions, you have allowed yourself to move forward in that direction. And if it still didn't happen, there is a reason for that. That complete trust of whatever the outcome is surrender. Surrendering means complete trusting of the universe, complete trust that you have the ability to co-create with the universe. Your universe is not like, most people are like, let me pray, right? Does not work. The universe is always co-creating with you. That co-creation process is what will give you the results you seek. However, that comes with the price of complete surrender. Surrender means literally like trusting, complete trust. So let me ask you this. Has there been a time in your life where you have completely just fully trusted? That is surrender. For most people, you have to be beaten down into submission, especially if you're a high achiever, you are a high performer, you are very successful, you're used to being in control, you're used to driving that car, you're used to, metaphorically, you're used to being in that driver's seat, right? What you're failing to understand is control doesn't give you the results that you want. It's like saying, I know how to hold on to the steering wheel. I know how to press the gas pedal. I know when to press the brakes. I know how to do this, and I fully surrender that I will be safe going from destination A to destination B. That is surrender. The power of surrender is going to create this life that you seek. I'm going to give you my own personal example. I've shared this in my podcast many times. I was very, very sick for many, many years with an autoimmune. And here's the power. Like, I have healed myself completely. Like, there's not even a trace of this. I'm not on any medication. When the doctors told me that I had to be on medications for the rest of my life, that I could not have this life that I'm living right now, like could not be walking. And it was a very bleak period in my life, but I did not listen to any of those things that were told to me. I knew I would get better. But it was a process. It took a lot of ups and downs for me to land to where what allowed the full healing to happen. So I'm giving you this example as a way to show you what does surrender look like. Now, I'm a high achiever, right? I'm a high performer, high achiever. I've always gotten whatever I wanted to get in life. So for someone like me, which I know can relate, because I know you're a high achiever, you can relate to this. Like, we're not used to hitting roadblocks, right? The roadblocks means like, I'm just going to go forward. I'm going to go through it, right? That's the approach that most of us take. However, that approach doesn't work. What works is complete surrender. But for someone like me, it had to be beaten down. Like, I had to be beaten down into submission kind of thing. It's not I'm using that phrase very lightly, but like the universe was like, you need to completely surrender this process. So at one point, it was like, years into my illness, there was no solutions available. Like, I was literally stuck. So I remember, and I was bedridden for many, many years. So I was lying in my bed. I was in my 20s, like late 20s. I was so young too. And like everybody around me, their life was like supposedly perfect. Like they were having all these amazing experiences of travel, of food. Like, I could not do anything. Okay. So at that point, what I did, I was so lost and so stuck that I didn't know any other way other than to say, literally, I remember lying in my bed looking at the ceiling and kind of having this invisible conversation with God, because I didn't know what else was there. I didn't know about co-creation. I didn't know about the universe. I was just in the beginning phases of my awakening process. So I look up at the ceiling and I say, okay, universe, God, if this is all you have in store for me for the rest of my life, if my life basically means lying in my bed and staring at the ceiling for days on end, in pain, not being able to move, then I accept. I'm okay with it. If that's what you want from me, I'm okay with it. So it was a painful process, but that released something. It released this grip of like, I need to get better and I need to figure out the solution, right? I'd already set everything in motion of whatever healing processes I needed to take. I'd already set everything in motion, but I needed to let go of this gripping, this tight grip I had on how I thought things needed to work out. So I let it all go. I let it all go. That started the process of awakening. That started the process of healing. It still took me a couple of years to fully get better, but it finally, things started to look up. In my podcast episode, No Mud, No Lotus, I talk extensively about this. I talk about pain. I talk about how through pain comes growth, and through the mud a lotus grows, right? Like that's the amazing beauty of like the suffering that we go through in life, which creates this beautiful openings for us. So I invite you to listen to that Create Your Vibrant Life podcast. Make sure to subscribe to it, because then you'll get updated on all the new episodes. It's really key to learn to surrender. Surrendering is going to look different for you than it looks for me. It's going to look different for each person, because each person's process of surrendering is different. If you are, I'm trying to save you the pain of like going through like this deep down in the dumps before you can surrender. I used to do that. Now I no longer do it. The way I live my life in surrender is I am going to take the actions and I'm going to let the universe direct where the arrow needs to go, right? If I'm throwing the dart, the metaphor again, I'm going to allow the universe to say, where does the dart need to land? My job is just to show up and do the things that I'm here to do, and let the universe direct the dart to wherever it needs to go. So that is my invitation to you. Please find your process of surrendering. If you're going to wait to be beaten down in order to surrender, it's only going to create more pain and suffering. If you want to choose that, fine by me. But if you don't want to choose that, start where you can start to surrender now, where you can start to really let go now, where you can allow the universe to co-create with you now. Because that's how it works. You trust your intuition, you take the aligned actions, and then you surrender. That is the process. This 3-step process will allow you to create anything and everything you desire. So my invitation to you, practice surrendering. Practice surrendering in the smallest of the things. If your car breaks down, if you lose your wallet, if you can't find your car keys, start to practice surrendering in that moment, because that's how you're going to build that muscle, not for the big launch that you have, the multi-million-dollar launch that you have, because that's a huge thing at stake. These smaller things, when you start to practice, it's going to put the bigger things into more ease, where you can start the process of surrendering. I am very grateful to you for listening to this, for sharing this, for subscribing to this video, for this channel, because you're going to get a lot of information like this from me. And I really invite you to share this with your friends and family, because if you resonated with this, other people will too. Surrendering is key. Just taking aligned actions does not work. Okay? All right. I will see you in another video. Subscribe to the channel, post your comments, post your questions, and in the caption, you will find access to a 3-part video training series that I have, which is absolutely free. Please go ahead and subscribe to it and learn and see how you can create your success formula. Okay? All right. I will see you on another video.